Today we're going to be comparing the JCM800 emulation across a bunch of different modelers. What's up everyone, welcome to the channel. My name's Taylor, and if you're new here, I do all sorts of guitar related stuff on my channel, like this. This is a comparison video about guitar tone. If that's something you enjoy, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any uploads. Click that little thumbs up button while you're down there too. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be comparing the JCM800 emulation across a bunch of different modelers. We'll be looking at the HX Stomp, the Hot Tone Ampero, the GE200, and an Axe FX3. If you've seen any of my recent comparisons, you'll get the idea of what happens in these videos. But for those of you who haven't, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking a guitar DI from a song that I'm working on and reamping it through the JCM800 model on all of the different units. I'm going to dial in the settings the same for each of the units, and we'll be listening back with the cab IRs that are built into the units, as well as third-party IRs. I'll solo the guitars, so that way you can hear exactly how these are affecting the guitar tone without any of the post-processing mix bus, EQs, or compressors and stuff like that. I'm a really big fan of the JCM800 emulation in pretty much every modeler that I've ever owned. And with this song, I wanted to go for a very specific tone. I wanted to go for a tone that was a JCM800 paired up with an oversized Mesa cabinet, or a Mesa rectifier standard if you prefer. So on each of the different modelers that I'm using, the stock cabinet IR is going to be an oversized Mesa mic'd up with a 421 in a center-ish position. I also wanted to take a few minutes to answer some questions that I got on my last video and the video before that are pretty common. On the last video, I got asked a lot why I didn't use this 5150 that's behind me and compare the amp modelers to this 5150. The main reason that I didn't compare the modelers to this 5150 is because this thing actually needs new tubes and it's not in the best condition right now. And I didn't think it would be fair to compare it to these modelers until it had like new tubes and it was in really prime working condition. I think if I was gonna do a comparison video with a real amplifier, that I want to do it blind so that people have to try and pick out which one is the real amp. Because I do get comments periodically about how all modelers sound bad and there's nothing like a real amplifier. And I really think that most people would be hard pressed to pick out the real amplifier, especially in the context of a mix. So that's something that I have planned that's out on the horizon. The other reason that I'm not using real amps in most of these comparisons is that I don't own them. I own all the modelers that I'm using in these comparison videos, but to buy an amp for every one of these videos that I make is just, that's not gonna happen. As much as I'd love to, that's just not financially possible. And another pretty common question that I get is whether or not I'm running the modelers into an interface when I record them. And yes, all the modelers are being ran into my Apollo Twin Duo USB audio interface when I record them. So I'm not using any of the modelers as an audio interface when I do these comparisons. I also get asked about shooting out different modelers as well, like the Headrush is a common one, and then the GE300 and even the GE250. And again, while I want to do that, it's just not financially possible at the moment. Shooting out against different modelers is more likely to happen in the future, especially as these newer modelers get on the used market and come down in price a little bit. Then I can start justifying buying them because I can get a lot more mileage out of a modeler than I can out of a tube amp in the context of these comparison videos, if that makes sense to you guys. So while I appreciate all of those suggestions, and I do totally agree with you that it would be great to shoot all of these out against real amplifiers and the different modelers, I really do have to work within my own budget, and hopefully you guys understand that. If you guys have any other questions or comments, let me know below. I'd be more than happy to answer your questions. And also, let me know what amp you'd like to see in these comparison videos next. If I get enough comments, maybe I'll make a poll or something like that and we can all vote on it. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, with all that being said, let's get over to the demo. So which one of these modelers do you think replicated the JCM800 better? Let me know in the comments below. Again, I really enjoy all of these modelers. I think they all kind of bring their own unique flavor to amp modeling. I'm probably biased and prefer the Axe-Fx 3 a little bit more just because that's the one that I use the most often, but I think they all do a really great job. I haven't had the opportunity to play a JCM800 for a few years now, but from what I remember, they're all replicating the tone fairly well. Also, to be honest with you, I'd be perfectly happy with any of the stock tones I got out of the units without adding the third-party IR. You know, there's just something very cool and rock and roll about the JCM800, and I really think all of them capture it well. If I had to put them in order of the way that I preferred them, it would probably be the Axe-Fx, the Helix, the GE200, and then the Ampero. But they're all by such slim margins that it doesn't really matter, to be honest. I'd be totally happy with the guitar tone on any of these units. Alright guys, that's gonna be it from me. If you haven't already, please hit the like button and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye!